Welcome back to Strides to Solutions. I'm Esther Adams, and this is the third episode in our series on compassion fatigue in animal caretaking. In the first two episodes, we defined compassion fatigue, explored its hidden costs, and introduced the professional quality of life scale as a way to recognize it. Today, we turn to a central question: how can animal caretakers protect their well being and sustain their compassion? Research on compassion fatigue highlights five core resilience skills that make a difference: self regulation, intentionality, perceptual maturation, connection and support, and self care and revitalization. The first of these is self regulation. Stress activates the body's fight or flight response, which can be useful in emergencies but harmful if it becomes constant. In animal care, where suffering and urgent decisions are common, many caretakers live in a near constant state of activation. Self regulation means learning to notice and calm those responses. This might look like pausing between cases to take 3 slow breaths, relaxing tense muscles, or practicing mindfulness for even a minute at a time. Research shows that small, consistent calming techniques lower stress hormones and keep fatigue from accumulating. Even something as simple as unclenching your jaw or putting both feet on the floor to ground yourself can create a moment of reset. The second resilience skill is intentionality, which is the ability to stay connected to your values and purpose in the middle of overwhelming work. In animal care, tasks can feel endless and outcomes are not always happy. Intentionality helps us reconnect to why we do this work in the first place, whether it is relieving suffering, creating safety, or giving animals a second chance. Caretakers who return to their personal mission are more likely to feel steady and less likely to lose themselves in the demands of the role. One practical strategy is to write down your personal why in a sentence or two and place it where you will see it often. That small reminder can transform daily tasks into meaningful contributions. The third skill is called perceptual maturation, which means reframing how we see stress and the work we do. Often, it is not only the stressors themselves, but the way we interpret them that deepens fatigue. For example, a euthanasia decision might feel like a personal failure or defeat, which magnifies grief. But reframed, it can be seen as an act of compassion, ending suffering when no other option exists. This shift does not erase sadness, but it allows caretakers to carry pain alongside purpose. Research also suggests that practices like gratitude journaling and mindfulness help people see their experiences in more balanced ways, making stress feel more manageable. The fourth resilience skill is connection and support. Compassion fatigue grows in isolation, but resilience grows in community. Caretakers who have safe spaces to talk and debrief after difficult cases are better able to process their experiences. Support can take many forms: supervision from a manager who listens, peer groups who meet regularly, or informal conversations at the end of a shift. Research shows that organizations that provide structured debriefing sessions and encourage peer support see lower levels of compassion fatigue. Even small changes, such as creating a routine for coworkers to check in with each other after hard cases, can make a meaningful difference. The fifth and final skill is self care and revitalization. This is not an occasional luxury, but a regular practice of renewing energy and restoring balance. Research emphasizes that the body cannot stay in a stressed state when it is deeply relaxed and restored. For animal caretakers, this might include physical exercise, journaling, time outdoors, creative hobbies, or spiritual practices that provide meaning. The most important factor is consistency. A short daily walk, a regular bedtime, or a weekly creative outlet can build a foundation that keeps compassion sustainable over the long term. Across shelters and veterinary clinics, research has shown that workplaces that encourage these resilience practices see stronger teamwork, lower staff turnover, and healthier organizational cultures. For example, shelters that allow staff to take short recovery breaks, create open channels of communication, and provide access to coping resources report lower levels of burnout among staff and volunteers. Veterinary clinics that introduced team debriefings after euthanasia also reported better morale and reduced emotional strain. These findings remind us that resilience is not only an individual responsibility, it thrives best when supported by the community and the workplace. Together, the five resilience skills, self regulation, intentionality, perceptual maturation, connection, and self care form a practical toolkit for sustaining compassion in the face of stress. They help caretakers hold on to both their humanity and their purpose. Resilience is not about being untouched by suffering, it is about recovering, rebalancing, and continuing to show up with compassion in ways that are sustainable. In our next episode, we will explore how organizations, communities, and even pet owners can create environments of sustainable compassion. We will look at systemic strategies that reduce compassion fatigue and the ways individual caretakers can advocate for healthier practices. Thank you for joining me on Strides to Solutions. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who cares for animals. Together, we can build resilience and create a healthier culture of care.